Hey guys, what's going on? It's Unfrosted here, or Ben. I don't think I've ever said my first name before. My real name's Ben. That doesn't give too much away. But today I'm going to do a commentary about my near-death experience, or one of my near-death experiences, because I've had a few in my life. The most major one I can't remember, which I'll probably talk about in a different video. But I'm probably won't do like a series or anything on this, but I just thought I'd talk about this because I think it's kind of interesting, and it's this weird little thing that happened to me. I'll say about 3 months ago now. It was during the holidays, the summer holidays. It was before Christmas. I think it was about the start of December, and I've always been pretty clumsy, but this wasn't actually anything to do with being clumsy, really. I was walking up the road. My house is about 3 blocks away, or maybe 2 blocks away from a dairy, or a 7-Eleven, as you get Americans know it. And I was walking up there, eating a sandwich. I think I was just taking the dog for a walk, actually. And I was just walking up this road and eating my sandwich, as you do, of course. And suddenly, I choked on the sandwich, and it wasn't like I swallowed the sandwich, but it wasn't stuck in my throat. Like, I wasn't coughing because of that, but my throat had just completely closed up. And when I was like trying to breathe in, it just felt like there was like something in my throat that was not allowing the air to go out, and and the air to go in, and I couldn't breathe out either. So I was freaking the fuck out. And just to like imagine you're in this situation, so you're walking along the street. I think it was a Sunday afternoon, so everyone is out, no one is around, everyone's out doing activities and shit, and so everyone is out, there's no one around, and you're just standing in the middle of suburbia, which pretty much live in suburbia. I was just standing on the road. There was no cars going past. I couldn't hear any cars, I couldn't hear anyone. It was pretty much completely silent, and I was just like, well, fuck. I am standing here, choking. By my knowledge, I know that about in a minute, the oxygen's going to cut off from my brain. What the fuck am I going to do? And so, of course, I freaked out, and my natural survival instinct popped in, and I just start running down the street. I start running down the middle of the road. Don't give a fuck about any cars. Just YOLO that shit. And I am looking in every house trying to see someone. And I'm just running down the road. I don't see any cars. I'm on the main road now. There's no cars. Like the main road, close to my house, usually there's like at least a few cars go past per minute. And there was none on this Sunday. I have no idea why. But I guess it's just my luck. Happened to start dying. There ain't nobody around. Help me. And so I'm thinking, well, I'm going to die. Just seeing how it's going to go. Choking on some sandwich, walking to the dairy, taking my dog for a walk. And of course my dog's fucking happy as shit. He's going for a run. He's like, hey, it's a jolly old time. We're running down the middle of the road. And I'm just like, and I'm just like, oh shit. That's probably the sound I made. I was like freaking out. And suddenly I see this girl who ended up she actually goes to my school, and I've never talked to her again. I don't know her name, and this is where I start not being able to remember shit. So at this point, I started getting a really bad headache, and that was because the oxygen was not flowing through my brain anymore. Or it was starting to cut off from my brain. And when your brain starts not getting oxygen, it starts freaking out, and I think this is what happens. I think it starts focusing more on keeping you alive than your senses, like your sight and your hearing or anything. So I started getting a headache because my brain was working so hard to keep me alive. I started not being able to see properly. Everything was really blurry, but I see this figure in the window, and I just run up to the window, and I just start smashing on the fucking window as hard as I can. I was bam, 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 smacking my desk. But I was smacking this window, and this chick, this girl from my school, I think she's a year below me. I think she's a year below me. And I just started smashing on the window, and I think she was studying or something. She was just sitting on the ground. She just looks up. I must have scared the shit out of her. I apologize to her. I must have scared her. She was just sitting down, having probably just having drink, just chilling, and then you just see this random guy start smashing on your window, and I could tell that I like started freaking out. So I'm like, oh no, wait, I need help. Oh shit, I'm not trying to freak this girl out. I'm trying to get help. And so I'm like, oh wait, and I grab my throat and I'm like, to try insinuate that I was choking. And she's like, oh shit, oh fuck, mum. And so she starts yelling for her parents, and she runs to the front door. She opens the front door, and I just fall down. And I fall down on the front door, and next thing I know, I'm waking up to this dude, I'm crouching, and I'm crouching, and this dude's just whacking me on the back as hard as he can. And I'm like, fuck, dude, what are you doing? Except I wasn't saying anything because I was still like, and I was still freaking out, but I felt better because there was actually people around me, but I was still in that state where everything was blurry, and I was freaking the fuck out, and my brain's going crazy, and, I get a little bit of breath, I'm like a tiny little bit of breath, and that makes me want to get more air in. And so I just keep breathing in, and he's breathing out really slowly, and so I was breathing in and out, and I wanted to breathe in really fast, but that would just fuck up my throat, and so I breathing in and out really slowly, and I'm like, oh shit, and it takes about 10 minutes for the blurriness to stop, and the sound to come back, and everything to come back to normal, and I'm just sitting there nearly crying. I'm like, holy fuck, and I'm freaking out so much that I nearly died. Imagine if that girl wasn't there, and what would have happened is I would have just been, because 20 seconds after that, if they weren't there, I would have just been standing there, and then I would have fallen over. And then it would have been at least a few minutes before someone came and got me. And by that time, I'm pretty sure I'd be unconscious. And by the time, anyone arrived, or anyone helpful arrived, I'd probably be gone. So I was pretty lucky that these people were there to save me. But I felt really kind of guilty afterwards. I was like, wow, these people had to go through just kind of saving my life. That must be a pretty big deal. And I was really grateful. But I was also really, really embarrassed because, I was just running along the middle of the road, and so I'm whacking on these people's door, and they're giving me water, and they're helping me out, and I'm like, oh shit, I just invaded their Sunday. I just made their Sunday a fucking, what the fuck fest. They must be freaking out as well, and, they're like, oh shit, you need to call your parents, are you okay? And I was like, oh, still freaking out. And they're feeding me water, and I'm just still crazed about the idea that I just ran into some random people's house, and that I was that close to dying, or at least I felt I was really close to dying. But yeah, so pretty much to sum it up, I was eating a sandwich, I choked, suddenly my throat was really bad, I couldn't breathe, I was running down the street, didn't think there was any hope, and then I saw that chick in the window, the Jesus, and then and then all I remember after that is waking up to the guy whacking me on the back, and then I slowly came back and had water. My mum came, and she was freaking out as well. She was like, oh shit. And then I went up to the hospital. I went there for another 3 hours. During there, my throat went up again, and I started choking. But then the doctor helped me out. He did some crazy doctor shit, fixed me right up again. And then, I thought I was good. They gave me an inhaler in case I ever felt short of breath. Luckily, I'm under 18, so I think it was all free of charge, at least in my country. And yeah, so a few days later, happens again. I'm sitting at home, my stepdad is sitting in the lounge, and I'm in this little sub house, behind our house, in the garden. It's a little shack that I have my setup in, and I play my games and I record in, so that if I scream, no one hears. And it happens to me and I start freaking out. And well, I wasn't even eating food, I wasn't even drinking anything. I was drinking water, it wasn't even because of that though. I just start suddenly freaking out because I can't breathe in. So I'm sprinting, I fall over, I fall onto the concrete, and like graze my leg and shit. Not like, oh, graze my leg. Like, it was bleeding pretty heavily. And then I run into the house, and I'm like freaking out, and he knows that like the whole situation happened a few days ago, and so he's like, oh shit, okay. So he just starts whacking me on the back. It takes about, same rhythm, same thing happens. It takes me about 5 minutes to get back to normal. And eventually I'm good, and he's like, bro, this is some serious shit. We need to go, like, get you checked out and stuff. And so I got checked out. There's nothing wrong with me. I had a throat infection where my throat would close up, and if I started breathing too rapidly or too abnormally, my throat would just close up because of, I don't know, it's infected. And so I was on some antibiotics, and I had to pretty much breathe in this gas, like, pretty much the whole day. And then eventually I was better. And it's really affected me, like, even if I start, like, if I'm, like, low of breath, I start freaking out, and I just chill out. I drink some water, and I always carry my water bottle with me, because water really does help in situations like that. If you just drown yourself in water, it's probably going to help. And so if I'm ever short of breath, I just stop what I'm doing, I sit down, and I breathe in and out really slowly, and I drink some water, and I make sure that I don't nearly die again. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys enjoyed this, leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one, if there's a next one. I don't really have any more near-death experiences, because the last time that happened I was 2. But I don't know, if you want another video like this, I'll probably have some other life stories. I'll probably title that Life Stories, even though I'm only 16. But yeah, if you liked, leave a like, and see you later.